This is Access 2016, Module 3, Part 5. In this segment, we're going to be looking at creating a query that uses logical operators. These logical operators would include equals, is not equal, which is the greater than immediately followed by the less than, both following each other, less than followed by greater than or equal to, less than, and less than or equal to. Those would be considered our logical operators. So let's get back into our Riverview database. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to take this dog animal type query that we created and we're going to make a copy of it and use it as a starting point. So I'm going to right click on dog animal type and I am going to copy it. Then you want to right click on a blank space in your pane and paste. Notice it brings up asking you for a new query name. So we are going to call this one Earlier Visits. Now the key thing here is to go down and select Earlier Visits before you start trying to make your changes so you don't change the wrong one. So we're going to go to Earlier Visits, double click it to open it up. You can see that it still is our dog animal type query. So we're going to go over to Design View and start making some changes. I am really big about removing criteria that I don't want first. And I do that so I don't forget when I get done. Okay, so I don't need animal type being equal to a dog anymore, so I'm going to delete that. So I go to the criteria row for animal type and I delete it. I'm going to check the box for animal type. Now the problem I have right now is because the show box was unselected, it's all the way at the end. And that is not where I want it. I want the animal type to be before the date of the visit. So I'm going to click on it once, hold down the mouse, click on it a second time, and then I'm going to move that dark line to right in front of visit date to move the field there. Once I have it set back up, removing any criteria I don't need, then I can go in and put the criteria in that I want. So I'm going to use visit date. I'm going to click in the criteria box and I'm going to say I want any visits that are earlier than January 1st, 2017. So I'm going to choose less than 1, 1, less than space 1, 2017. Notice when I hit enter, it automatically put pounds around the cell or the value because it knows that this is a date field. Dates are enclosed in the pound symbols. So if you do these correctly, then much of it will be filled in for you. Now, keep in mind, if you had said that the visit dates were on or before, then you would have had to have an equal sign as well. Since we just wanted before, we don't want that equal sign. So let's go ahead and click Run. And now you can see that all of the dates of our visits happened before January 1st. You always want to look at your results and make sure they are consistent with what you were trying to get. If you had all dates that were greater than 1/1/2017, that should tell you that your sign is backwards. So you always want to review these results so that if you do happen to have a simple mistake, like a backward sign, you can correct that before you submit your homework or exam. So we're going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to go back into this, and I just want to make sure with dates, we look at things like if you said, let's go down here, on or after a date, then that's going to be greater than or equal to. If you said after, then it would only be greater than. If we said on or before a date, you're going to use less than or equal to. And if we did before that date, it's just going to be the less than. So you can see that's how our logical operators would work with phrasing related to dates. These operators can also be used with dollar amounts or numbers as well. That concludes this part working with our logical operators.